During the night, drones targeted the Russian Granit defense enterprise in Rostov-On-Don, according to a report by Astra. The facility is known for producing components used in aviation and air defense systems. Sources within the region's emergency services told Astra that a fire broke out after one of the drones crashed on the factory grounds. The blaze was reportedly contained quickly. Windows were shattered in one of the buildings on the premises. The full extent of the damage remains unclear. There were no casualties, the outlet reported. Early on August 27th, local residents in community chat groups reported that the area around the private defense facility had been cordoned off, with access restricted to vehicles and pedestrians. During the night, people living near Oseni Park, close to the plant, also reported hearing explosions and seeing smoke. Public records show that PJSC Granit manufactures vacuum electronic devices and other specialized equipment. Its products are used in aviation systems and surface-to-air missile complexes. Astra also highlighted that in May 2024, local media reported an investor had postponed the registration of a planned technology park at the Granit site, an initiative expected to attract $18 million, citing the plant's high production load as the reason for the delay. And we maybe have new major attack on Russian oil sector. A fire has broken out at the Neftogorsk gas processing plant in Russia's Samara region, according to firm's data. The scale and cause are unknown. The plant processes associated petroleum gas and produces dry stripped gas, ethane fractions, light hydrocarbons, and sulfur. The Novatek plant in the Russian port of Ust-Luga has suspended operations after strikes by Ukrainian drones, reports Reuters. The company's gas processing complex has suspended operations after a fire that broke out as a result of an attack by Ukrainian drones. Since last Sunday, the complex has been completely stopped. The Ust-Luga complex has 3 processing units with a capacity of 3 million tons per year each. It processes stable gas condensate into light and heavy oil, jet fuel, a component of marine fuel, fuel oil, and gas oil. At least one processing unit was damaged as a result of the fire. Some Reuters sources claim that the fire damaged 2 processing units. The agency's interlocutors predict that because of this, Novatek will be forced to reduce oil exports and may resume supplies of unprocessed stable gas condensate to international markets. Recall, on the night of August 24th, Ukrainian long-range drones attacked the port of Ust-Luga in the Leningrad region. The drones hit the gas processing complex of Novatek, the largest producer of liquefied gas in the Russian Federation. According to the Ocinters, the blow fell precisely on the cryogenic fractionation unit of gas condensate, gas, which is the heart of the complex's technological processes. During the liberation of Volodymyrivka, the soldiers of the 253rd RA Battalion captured a group of Russian soldiers, including residents of Makiivka and Mariupol. A video of the interview with the prisoners was released by the UDA spokesman Serhiy Brachuk. Soldiers of the UDA assault unit reported significant tactical successes in the Pokrovsk sector and the capture of 11 Russian soldiers near the village of Volodymyrivka. Among the captured invaders were 9 soldiers of the 110th Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces, Military Unit 42600, which was formed in the occupied territories of the Donetsk region. In particular, 2 of those mobilized into the ranks of the enemy army were citizens of Ukraine who lived in Makiivka and Mariupol. Another one with Ukrainian citizenship lived in Kamchatka. Also, the fighters of the RA unit reported the capture of 2 more special forces of the main intelligence directorate of the Russian General Staff. However, they were not present on the video. The assault by the 253rd Battalion was part of a larger operation to capture and cut the ledge that had formed in the direction of the villages of Zoloty Kolodiaz and Vesely in August. During a visit to military units near Pokrovsk on August 24th, the Ukrainian Armed Forces Commander-in-Chief publicly announced a successful counterattack in this area and the liberation of Mikhailivka, Zelenyi High, and Volodymyrivka. The commander-in-chief did not say which military units carried out the counterattack, but named the brigades he visited: the 25th Airborne Brigade, the 68th Ranger Brigade, the 32nd, and the 155th Mechanized Brigades. Warthog Defense previously published an interrogation of other Russian prisoners taken by the 425th Skala Regiment on the outskirts of Pokrovsk, who spoke about the tactics of infiltrating the Ukrainian defense line. It took the Russian infantry 14 days to march from occupied Selidov to Pokrovsk, which is about 25 kilometers long, moving in small groups. At the same time, they spent 10 days traveling from the village of Pishchane to Zakistnikiv Ukraini Street on the outskirts of Pokrovsk. Thus, every day, an enemy infantryman walked only 600 meters in the hope of not being detected. Drone drops provided communications, water, and food. According to Deep State, 120 of the 150 saboteurs died on the way. The interrogation of prisoners also confirms this. We had a 9th company, 2 platoons, about 50 people in total. 8 people at most made it to Pokrovsk. On August 16th, it was reported that the 7th Airborne Corps and related units had completely cleared Pokrovsk of Russian groups and individual saboteurs. Drone operators from the 47th Mechanized Brigade, working with Ukraine's Air Force, carried out a precise strike on a Russian UAV control point in the northern Slobozhansky sector. 8th Special Forces Regiment's UAREG team hit Russian logistics in Kursk region, torching 3 cars, 5 vans, and 4 trucks. Ukraine continues to wage a highly active campaign in Russia's Kursk region, carrying out a steady tempo of strikes against troops, military units, logistics hubs, and infrastructure. These attacks have gone beyond symbolic raids and now represent a deliberate strategy aimed at stretching Russian defenses and forcing Moscow to commit resources deep inside its own territory. Ukrainian forces are targeting troop concentrations and bases to reduce combat pressure along the front line, while at the same time striking fuel depots, ammunition storage sites, and transport routes to cripple the enemy's ability to supply ongoing operations. Infrastructure such as railway nodes, power facilities, and repair depots has also been hit, creating cascading effects that slow Russian military movement and weaken the reliability of its rear areas. The importance of these operations lies in their layered impact. Militarily, they directly degrade Russia's offensive capabilities by depriving its frontline units of supplies and reinforcements. Politically, they expose the vulnerability of Russian regions previously considered safe, undermining the Kremlin's narrative of control and security inside its own borders. Strategically, they force Russia to disperse air defenses, redeploy troops, and commit more resources to guard against further Ukrainian actions far from the battlefield in Ukraine. This means fewer assets available to sustain offensives in Donbass or to defend critical regions, such as Zaporizhzhia. Ukraine's activity in Kursk also sends a message about the adaptability of its war effort. Rather than waiting passively for Russian assaults, Kiev has carried the war onto Russian soil in ways that complicate Moscow's calculations. By striking the rear, Ukraine demonstrates that no part of Russia's war machine is untouchable, while buying breathing space for its own defenses. For Russia, the continuing strikes in Kursk are more than an irritation. They represent a strategic drain on resources and a constant reminder that the war is both costly and increasingly difficult to contain.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.